Welcome back to Close Up. The victory lap for the winners is over as those who came out on top on November 5th prepare for the work ahead. Republicans achieved their top goal of holding the corner office at the State House, but there's a lot more they're celebrating, including a notable win among same-day registration voters. Joining us this morning is NHGOP Chairman Chris Ager. Chris, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Adam.
So you were optimistic on Election Day, but you were also realistic. You weren't somebody who was necessarily pre-planning your touchdown celebration, but pretty quickly you had to figure one out.
Well, we felt very good about the governor's race early. The polling had always been very, very good, and we felt very good we were going to win the House and Senate, but the margins actually were better than what we had predicted. And so now we're analyzing, what did we do correctly? How did that all happen? And the main thing we have to do is deliver on the promises we made.
Who were the swing voters that made the difference, and how did you connect with them?
Yep. So I think at the national level, President Trump's message was resonating with working class people, especially working class men. And we had done outreach to union members very specifically because our policies now are helping them more than the Democrat policies. So we wanted to invite them. Young men were attracted by President Trump. And so that combination, we think, helped us quite a bit. I was at Oyster River, which is UNH's polling place. Same-day registrants, a lot of young women and some young men also. And so it was kind of a mixed bag, but we came out on top in the state. And we're very happy that we didn't need these 4 electoral votes for president because, of course, we didn't win those, but that was part of the plan. We were focused on the state level races.
And when you look at the ground game in the campaign, on paper, the Democrats had a tremendous structural advantage with all of the offices opened up by the Harris campaign, the staffers. That usually makes a big difference, but not this time. What was it?
No, so I think everyone knew President Trump, Vice President Harris, they knew what they were going to do in that race. And so focusing on the lower races, governor on down, was where we could make an impact. We had very motivated Trump volunteers. They were incredible. They did an enormous amount of work. That helped us up and down the ticket. But Governor-elect Ayotte had a good message for the people of the state. We had an abortion messaging team and policy that we agreed on with the candidates, the state Senate, and the State House leadership back last April. And so we stuck to that messaging. We also tried to avoid any other hot-button social issues and talk about the things that people in the Granite State cared about. And so down ballot, everything worked out very well. But this all started in November of 23. When we elected Jay Rouet as mayor of Manchester. It was part of our 4-year plan, win in Manchester, win statewide, and in 2026, we're going to have representation in Washington.
What explains the losses in the federal races, though? That's the one off note for you guys.
So, if you look at our plan, it was never our focus. And, you can do anything you want, you can't do everything you want. Structurally, the Democrats had an advantage. If you look at New England, there are 33 federal seats, 1 Republican, Susan Collins. So it's a tough neighborhood to win. The branding of federal Republicans is more socially conservative. In New Hampshire, we're more pragmatic, socially moderate. And so there's a difference. When people think Washington Republicans, they think $36 trillion debt, socially conservative people. Here, you think New Hampshire Republicans, fiscally conservative, pragmatic, moderate. And so that difference is quite a big difference. And you saw it. Federal races we lost, state races we won very big.
Do you want to see the legislature redraw those congressional maps?
I think that it's due, and it's only a temporary solution that we have now. So I would expect that we could make a better map for CD1 and 2, and CD1 could be a little bit more concise. That may help Republicans. But CD2 is also, the rural areas in CD2 are drifting Republican as well. So we could see a very interesting map come up. And I think we are due a redistricting that we didn't get done in 2020.
What do you make of the same-day registration advantage? That's usually a trophy that Democrats get to put on their mantle.
Right. So same-day registration, a lot of times it's new, first-time, of course, first-time voters, but young people. And generally, young people have voted Democrat. This time, I think President Trump drew out a lot of people that had been sitting on the sidelines, and the younger voters didn't go as much for Democrats, especially young men. So those first-time voters, it was amazing that they went our direction, and But I think it's Trump bringing out very motivated people, and younger men in particular used to vote and register Democrat are now registering Republican.
Do you have to rethink in some ways, if this is the trend line, you know, the Republicans have been sometimes skeptical of same-day registration, not all, but some. You know, the idea that, you know, that guy who's working on an HVAC system all day, he's probably not walking around with proof of citizenship in his back pocket. Do you really want to make it harder for that guy to vote when he's with you now?
We want to make it easy to vote, hard to cheat. You have a lot of time to register to vote, all the way up to Election Day. And it's very easy, you know, if you have birth certificate or a passport, I mean, that's proof of citizenship. Most people have that, you know, somewhere handy, you know, locked away. And so we don't think it's a big burden. There were only, I believe, 24 or 25 people statewide who had to use the affidavit because they didn't have their proof of ID. That's a very small number, and very few of them went back within 7 days to prove that. And so I think the new law that is under contention, we've shown by data it's really not going to impact very many, if any, people at all. So it's not going to make it harder for people to vote.
Over the last 2 years, Republicans have done a lot of dunking on Democrats over their problems with the First in the Nation primary and DNC. You know, what's going to happen on your side, do you think, if President Trump wants to dictate how the First in the Nation process is going to play out over the next 4 years?
It's not going to change for the Republican side. We're very solid in the RNC. Our relationship with the New Hampshire delegation is very good. If Mike Whatley stays as chairman, I have absolutely no concerns at all. There's been no movement within the Republican Party at all to change the primary. President Trump won here for the first time in 2016. He had a very robust challenge from Nikki Haley, and he was able to win. So I don't see that changing at all.
All right, it'll be exciting to see how it develops. Chairman Ager, thank you for your time on Close Up. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, and that wraps up this edition of Close Up for New Hampshire. Thanks for watching. Make sure to check out the politics page on our website and mobile app for more in-depth analysis and to sign up for our weekly newsletter. We'll be back next week. Have a great Sunday.